William Rodney Wiley, black microbiologist and biochemist. Born 1931, died 1996. William Rodney Wiley was a talented researcher and an effective administrator, as well as a respected teacher. He spent his entire scientific career at Pacific Northwest National Laboratory in Washington State, where he earned numerous honors. He was about to assume the presidency of Sigma Xi, the International Honor Society for Scientists and Engineers, when he died suddenly in June of 1996. Wiley was born in Oxford, Mississippi, on September 5, 1931. His father, William Russell Wiley, owned a shoe repair shop, and his mother, Edna Threlkeld Wiley, managed a small restaurant. Wiley's family valued education, and his mother and aunt encouraged his interest in science. During those early years, Wiley considered a career in medicine, particularly after seeing his sister treated for poisoning by a local doctor. In high school, Wiley showed both academic and athletic promise. He received a scholarship to Tougaloo College near Jackson, in part due to his talent on the football field. During the 1950s, Tougaloo was known for its pre-medical program, and Wiley received a great deal of personal attention from the faculty. His chemistry professor, St. Elmo Brady, was a role model, and Wiley began considering a career in research instead of medicine. Graduating with honors, he received his bachelor's degree in chemistry in 1954. Wiley served in the U.S. Army from 1954 to 1956, and then worked as a civilian instructor in electronics for 2 years before continuing his education. In 1958, Wiley received a scholarship from the Rockefeller Foundation and began his graduate studies at the University of Illinois in Champaign-Urbana. While there, he studied under James Watson, who was part of the scientific team that discovered the structure of DNA. Wiley also worked with Salvador Luria, who in 1969 would win a Nobel Prize for research that made the development of genetic engineering possible. Wiley received his master's degree in microbiology in 1960. He went on to earn a doctoral degree in bacteriology from Washington State University in 1965. After receiving his doctorate, Wiley joined the Pacific Northwest National Laboratory in Richland, Washington. This research center is an independent scientific organization managed by the Patel Memorial Institute for the U.S. Department of Energy. During his early years there, Wiley studied yeast and related organisms, showing that yeast can ingest materials for the assembly of proteins within its cells. Later, he would focus on methods to remove the sugar-like molecules that make up the outer shell of yeast cells. Wiley studied the development of brain cells and the growth of cancer cells. In 1974, Wiley was promoted to manager of the biology department at Pacific Northwest National Laboratory. He now supervised more than 200 research scientists. In 1979, he was appointed Director of Research with a staff of 1,500 scientists and engineers. 6 years later, Wiley was named Director of Pacific Northwest Laboratories and Senior Vice President of Patel Memorial Institute. In 1994, he became Senior Vice President for Science and Technology Policy. Wiley actively encouraged minority students to pursue careers in science, and he promoted after-school science activities as well as summer internships at Pacific Northwest National Laboratory. Peter Blair, Executive Director of Sigma Xi, discussed Wiley's commitment to young people in the Society's publication American Scientist. Quote, "Bill had a deep and abiding commitment to making the world a better place and setting an example young people would want to emulate." Unquote. Blair also wrote that Wiley, quote, "saw scientific research and development as the catalyst for economic growth, and during his tenure as director of the Pacific Northwest National Laboratory, His vision and commitment to the objective were the driving forces behind establishment of PNNL's Environmental Molecular Science Lab. Wiley won numerous awards, including one of the U.S. Department of Energy's highest honors, the Distinguished Associate Award, in 1994. He was also awarded the Alumni Achievement Award from Washington State University in 1986, an honorary Doctor of Law degree from Gonzaga University in 1988, an honorary Doctor of Science degree from Whitman College in 1990, and in 1994, the Black Engineer of the Year Award from Black Engineer magazine. Wiley was a member of several professional and academic organizations, including the Board of Regents of Gonzaga University, the Advisory Committee for Advanced Studies in Biomedical Sciences at the University of Washington, the Washington State Governor's Economic Development and Environmental Enhancement Task Force, the American Society of Biological Chemists, the American Society of Microbiology, and the Society for Experimental Biology and Medicine. Expecting to assume the presidency of Sigma Xi, Wiley was quoted in the July-August 1996 issue of American Scientist, quote, "Sigma Xi must continue to be more than an honor society. I believe the scientific community, through organizations such as Sigma Xi, is obliged to bring its collective wisdom to hear on current decision-making processes that will affect the future of science well into the 21st century." Unquote. Wiley was just one day away from taking the helm at Sigma Xi when he died on June 30th, 1996. Wiley had been married to Myrtle Louise Smith Wiley, whom he had met at Tougaloo College since 1953. They had one child, Johari. Citations are in the description.